In this video we're checking out the best free MetaQuest games out there, because having a great VR experience doesn't always have to break the bank. Strap on your headsets as we go through my top 10 free VR gems that you can get for your Quest right now. But before that, did you know you can find me in the MetaQuest app? Please consider supporting the channel by going into the app, then discover people and searching for VR reviews. Please do consider following me there, it really helps the channel out, only takes a few seconds. Thank you so much for your support. Let's dive in. Rec Room is the multiplayer sensation that has seen a meteoric rise since its launch in 2016. Rec Room is a hub for games, work and a social hangout with over 1 million active users monthly and a variety of different games from paintball, laser tag and 4-player adventures to millions of player created rooms. Rec Room has a little something for everyone. Cards and Tankards is, in my opinion, hands down the best VR card game out there. Cards and Tankards takes place in a medieval tavern where you'll be drawing cards, seeing them come to life and using your mana to sling spells at your opponent and take their life points to 0. It's like VR Hearthstone but better. You can chat and gesture with opponents, making it feel like a real life card game, but with all the benefits of VR, like having the 3D creature animations that pop up from your card. If you're into card games at all, this is one to download. Trust me, you won't regret it. So picture this, you're a gorilla racing around to tag others using only your arms to move. That's pretty much Gorilla Tag in a nutshell. It's a fast-paced multiplayer action game with loads of laughs. It's lightweight, has an active player base and is perfect for all ages. Now granted, it does look like a PlayStation 1 game, but if you can get past the visuals, you'll find a charming and endlessly fun multiplayer romp that's also quite the workout given its reliance on arm movements to get around. Blaston is a slow motion bullet hell PvP combat game where you dodge, duck and dive to outmaneuver your opponent using futuristic weaponry that look a bit like super soakers. It's a mix of skill, strategy and speed, with strategy being at its core. Your goal is to control the limited play space around yourself and your opponent in order to corner them and land some big hits. There's also an in-game currency system and the ability to upgrade your weapons and loadouts to give yourself the bigger advantage over your opponent. Population 1 is a quirky VR battle royale multiplayer game with a few twists. As time goes on, the combat zone shrinks relentlessly, making matches quick and intense, and it uses unique mechanics like climbing and gliding to add some extra excitement into its Royal Rumble bones. It also includes some Fortnite style building as well. Customization might be a bit limited, but the game is a blast to play, especially with friends. Population 1 offers fast-paced, strategic multiplayer gameplay, and in my opinion is one of the Quest's must-play multiplayer games. Hyperdash started out as a side quest superstar with over 170k downloads, and it's now in the Quest store for free. One of the reasons for its popularity is that it's a fast-paced VR shooter that uses dash teleportation and rail movement that makes it accessible even for VR newbies. You can do cool things like dual-wielding guns, and there are various game modes and dynamic maps that keep the action fresh. The colourful weapon effects, the slick player avatars and the immersive audio make this one a multiplayer winner. Anciet is the next-gen hero shooter that brings together characters from various game franchises for epic 5 versus 5 battles. It has intense gameplay, strategic elements, and promises an adrenaline-pumping experience. There's cross-platform play that lets MetaQuest users play with Steam VR users, and it features customizable abilities, a bomb planting mode, and a colourful cartoonish art style that gives it a vibrant and fresh look. The game currently has a 4.8 out of 5 rating on the Meta Store and is another popular free multiplayer shooter to add to this list. This next game is Cybercade, and I haven't seen this on any of the top 3 games lists that I've come across, but I think it's worthy of a spot in my list. It's inspired by those old school shoot at the screen arcade classic shooters like Area 51 or Time Crisis. So this game lets you blast away through heart pounding shootouts. You can play it solo or team up with friends or just jump on board with strangers. The action in this game is intense. I find the visuals quite cool and unique. The environment pulses to the beat of the music, and for someone like me who loves my retro arcade shooters, Cybercade comes with a nice dose of nostalgia. There's a casual mode if you're looking for a chilled out experience, or you can go hardcore in arcade mode with limited lives and chase those high scores. Step up into Big Ballers VR. This is the fastest growing VR sports game where you can rank up and show off your ball handling skills. Play with up to 12 players across a range of different games including dodgeball, basketball, football and baseball. Big Ballers VR is a premium sports VR experience that'll make you feel like a virtual reality sports star. And just a few honourable mentions before I move on to number 10. You have VR Chat. This is not really a game but a social VR platform that includes games but also areas where you can interact with others, explore worlds, and is known for a vast user generated content base. Also Elixir, it's a very short experience but a fun one. It's a hand tracking demo really. There's Mission ISS. It's an educational VR experience letting you explore the International Space Station and a very realistic glimpse of what it's like to live and work in space. There is Bait. It's a relaxing game where you can grab a rod, cast a line to catch over 60 different types of fish among 8 different lakes and locales, and even features multiplayer fishing with up to 4 of your friends. Then there's Gods of Gravity. That's a fun little social arcade style real-time strategy game with really fun and easy mechanics. But now moving on to number 10. The next game is Ancient Dungeon Beta. So this is the beta and not the full game. You can purchase the full game, but the beta is free, and to be honest the beta is kind of like a full game in its own right. You get to explore a vast procedurally generated dungeon. Every time you play the game the paths change, and there's just so much to do here, using swords and knives and arrows to smash pots, chop through vegetation and take down a range of pixelated bad guys. There's traps, treasures and everything you expect with this kind of classic dungeon crawler, along with a roguelite power-up system. It really is a great game. I've sunk many hours into the beta, and that's why I'm including it in my top 10 free games list. Okay, so I did say top 10, but actually it is a top 11. There's one more game I want to include on this list, and that's Vegas Infinite. In Vegas Infinite, you step out onto the fancy casino floor and take on the house with some adrenaline pumping blackjack or roulette. You can take on some friends. There's multiplayer table poker tournaments that allow you to test your skills with players worldwide, or you can have private tables with friends. You also have a ton of customizable accessories, so you can really dress to impress. Vegas Infinite also features some stunning environments, along with being able to handle chips, dice and cards, just like in real life, for that authentic casino experience. So thank you for joining me as I went through my top 10, or should I say 11, VR games you can get for your MetaQuest right now. This list has something there for everyone and goes to prove that you do not have to spend a cent to have an epic time with your MetaQuest headset. And that's it from me for now. Hope to catch you in the next one.